With over 5 billion years of life on Earth, there have been plenty of species that have gone extinct. With humans only around for about 300,000 years, we've only been around for a very small part of this time. Yet in this short time, we have caused many species to go extinct from habitat destruction, poaching, and climate change. But there are also species that were already going extinct before humans even existed. These animals would be extinct today regardless of our impact on the planet. In this video, we will look at 3 such species. First, we will look at the T-Rex dinosaur. The Tyrannosaurus rex was one of the most fearsome predators that ever lived. It is well known for its massive jaws and teeth that could easily crush bones and its powerful legs that could move it at speeds up to 25 miles per hour. The T-Rex was also huge, growing up to 40 feet long and 15 feet tall. It weighed somewhere between 7 and 9 tons. Despite its gigantic size, the T-Rex was very agile and could run, jump, and even swim with ease. This made it a formidable predator, able to hunt down and eat almost any animal that crossed its path. The T-Rex first appeared on Earth during the late Cretaceous period, about 68 million years ago. It quickly became the top predator in its ecosystem, feeding on herds of dinosaurs that were smaller than it. One of its favorite meals was the Triceratops, a large herbivorous dinosaur that lived in the same area as the T-Rex. For millions of years, these two dinosaurs were locked in a predator-prey relationship, with the T-Rex always trying to catch the elusive Triceratops. But the T-Rex did not only feed on other dinosaurs. It was also known to scavenge carcasses of dead animals. This is because it had a very keen sense of smell, which allowed it to detect the scent of rotting meat from miles away. This meant that the T-Rex was often the first to arrive at a carcass, where it would feed with other scavengers such as hyenas and vultures. However, the T-Rex didn't have it easy when it came to finding food. There were several other large carnivores in its ecosystem that also fed on the same prey. One of these was the Daspletosaurus, another large theropod dinosaur that lived in the same area as the T-Rex. These two dinosaurs often competed for food, and sometimes this competition turned violent, with each dinosaur trying to kill the other. However, despite the competition for food, the T-Rex was still the top predator in its ecosystem. It was too large, too powerful, and too aggressive for any other predator to challenge its dominance. But unfortunately, the T-Rex's reign at the top of the food chain did not last forever. About 66 million years ago, an asteroid about 6 miles wide slammed into the Earth. This caused massive destruction and killed off about 75% of all species on Earth, including the T-Rex. Today, we know that this event marked the end of the Cretaceous period and the beginning of the Paleogene period. It also marked the end of the dinosaurs' reign on Earth. For 145 million years, they had been the top predators and had very few natural enemies. But now they were gone, replaced by mammals who would eventually become the dominant land animals. Next, let's look at the Dodo. The chimpado is an extinct flightless bird that once inhabited the island of Mauritius in the Indian Ocean. It was related to the white-throated rail and was believed to have evolved from a common ancestor shared with the red-breasted goose. The chimpado's ancestors are believed to have arrived in Mauritius from Madagascar, where they still live today, via sailing rafts made of vegetation. Over time, the chimpade underwent significant evolutionary changes, becoming larger and heavier than its ancestors. By the time of its extinction, the chimpade weighed between 33 and 44 pounds and stood up to 5 feet tall. It had a robust beak that was well adapted for feeding on fruits and seeds. The chimpado was flightless due to its large size and heavy weight, but it was able to fly short distances by jumping and gliding from tree to tree. Fossil evidence suggests that the chimpado went extinct around 136,000 years ago, although some sources claim it may have survived until 10,000 years ago. The exact cause of its extinction is unknown, but it is believed to have been due to a combination of factors. One of the main reasons for the chimp's extinction was the destruction of its habitat. When humans arrived in Mauritius, they began to clear forest for agriculture and settlements, which destroyed the chimp's natural habitat. Another factor that contributed to the chimp's extinction was hunting by humans and introduced predators. Humans hunted the chimp for its meat and introduced predators such as cats and dogs killed the chicks and eggs of the chimp. Additionally, climate change may have played a role in the chimp's extinction. Changes in temperature and rainfall patterns may have altered the availability of food and water, making it difficult for the chimp to survive. Finally, the chimp was a large bird that required a lot of food to sustain itself. It is believed that it consumed up to 20 pounds of fruit per day. The abundance of food may have been a critical factor in its survival. When food became scarce, the chimp was unable to go without food for extended periods, which may have contributed to its eventual extinction. Lastly, we will look at the Megalodon. The Megalodon was a massive shark that lived in the world's oceans from about 23 to 3.6 million years ago. It was the largest fish that ever lived, growing up to 60 feet long and weighing over 100 tons. The Megalodon had a huge, powerful bite force which it used to feed on whales, dolphins, and other large sea creatures. It had a huge, dark gray body that was streamlined for fast swimming. Its fins were small in comparison to its body, and its tail was extremely powerful, allowing it to swim at speeds of up to 30 miles per hour. The Megalodon was a carnivorous animal that hunted in groups. It would use its massive size and powerful jaws to capture its prey, which it would then devour whole. The Megalodon's skin was thick and leathery, which protected it from the bites of its prey. Its eyes were large and black, which helped it to see in the dark depths of the ocean where it lived. The Megalodon was an apex predator, meaning that it was at the top of the food chain in its ecosystem. It had no natural enemies and was the dominant predator in the world's oceans during its lifetime. It is believed that the Megalodon went extinct due to a combination of factors. One of the main reasons for its extinction was the changing climate. During the Pliocene epoch, the Earth's climate began to cool, which resulted in a decrease in sea temperatures. This led to a reduction in the availability of food for the Megalodon, which in turn caused its population to decline. Additionally, rising sea levels may have caused the Megalodon to lose its habitat as coastal areas were flooded, making it more difficult for the Megalodon to find food and reproduce. Another factor that may have contributed to the Megalodon's extinction was the competition for food. The Megalodon shared its habitat with other large marine animals, such as whales and dolphins. As the climate changed and the availability of food decreased, competition for resources intensified, which may have put pressure on the Megalodon population. Moreover, the Megalodon required large amounts of food to sustain itself. It is estimated that it needed to consume up to 2,500 pounds of food per day. If food became scarce, the Megalodon would have been more vulnerable to extinction. Finally, the Megalodon was a slow-breeding animal. It had a gestation period of 18 months and only gave birth to one pup at a time. This slow reproductive rate meant that the Megalodon population could not recover quickly from any decline. Therefore, a combination of climate change, competition for resources, and slow breeding may have led to the extinction of the Megalodon. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe so you can learn more about extinct animals. Thank you for watching.